Hey, what is up? We are now just north of Tucson in our new spot. Finally starting to leave the Phoenix area, although they don't want to let us go because I had a dentist appointment yesterday and to get a crown put in, and they messed up the crown, so I have to go back again in another 2 weeks. So we'll be here for a while. Well, 2 weeks. But nice area. We've got Picacho Peak over there and Mount Lemon over there and Saguaro National Park over there. We're gonna go check those out. So there's plenty of stuff to do around here. I'm excited to see what happens. I also got to show you our new and improved bathroom. It's much more sturdy. Our last pea pod kind of got destroyed by wind. It kind of expected that to happen. I mean, it was nice, it packed away nicely, but yeah, it was bound to fail eventually. But this packs away pretty small. It's a little bit of a pain to set up, but it'll be nice to have. I think I might actually use it as a shower room. So we'll see. Well, as some of you may or may not know, I dabble in blacksmithing or bladesmithing, and this is the second knife I ever made, and I love this thing. Carry it with me everywhere. But up until a week ago, it looked pretty good condition, and then I used it to open some of our humidity bags just to get the water out before throwing them away. And this is what it looks like now. It's got a nice patina on it. So I got some sandpaper, and let's see if I can restore it to its original condition. Alright, well, that's not bad, just knocking the rust off. I'm going to see if I can take it down another grit and polish it up a little bit. Alright, that last grit I think was 120. Now I've got 220. Alright, so I've pretty much polished out the rough edges from the lower grit sandpaper, and I think it looks pretty good compared to how it was. I'm happy with it. It's not quite belt sander type smooth, but it's back in working order. So now I'm just gonna try to protect it. So one thing you can do to prolong the life of your knives is try to protect it with something like Vaseline, or in this case I got Carmex. Same idea, same thing. You just kind of spread a nice coat over the blade to protect it from tarnishing or rusting. So once you've got a nice coat over the blade, then you can just kind of wipe it dry, and then it'll leave a film. Yep. That should be good for a while before I have to do that again. Well, some of you may or may not know, I also dabble in home brewing, and I can't exactly take all my stuff on the road to homebrew. So I had this idea. I'm going to make a batch of Nomad Desert Hooch, or just mead. I'm going to try to ferment mead in an Nalgene bottle. So I wanted to do local, raw, unfiltered honey, and I couldn't find any. If this doesn't work, I'm going to try to find some and try it again. But I did find this store honey, and from what I can tell online, it's unpasteurized, which I think is the main key. And yeah, first thing I gotta do is sanitize my equipment, so I'm gonna boil some water. Alright, so I've boiled some water with my electric kettle inside. Now the rule of thumb is to sterilize something with heat, it needs to be at 180 degrees for at least 3 minutes. So I'm going to shake this for 3 minutes, and then we'll have clean equipment. I also have to do it this way because I don't have star sand, and I don't have any easy way to get star sand. Alright, it's been about 3 minutes. Save that for washing dishes later. So now I have a 32-ounce bottle. Generally for Mead, the rule is 3 pounds per 1 gallon of water. So I'm going to add a little less than a pound to this, or about a little less than 8 ounces. Because if I have 8 ounces of water in a 32-ounce bottle, that's going to be less than 32 ounces. But I do like it on the sweet side. That is about 8 ounces. Yeah, so about 0.75 pounds would make 32 ounces of mead. Should be right. Okay, we've got our honey. Now we're just going to add water. And then shake. Now that this is all nice and combined, we're kind of hoping to do a wild ferment. Now I don't have yeast, and sometimes raw, natural, unpasteurized honey can self-ferment or take off in a wild ferment, but this is not raw. It is unpasteurized, so I need a little bit of a yeast helper, and I don't have any yeast on me. I don't have any way to get yeast from a store. So the Vikings would ferment their mead using a magic stick. They didn't know how or why it worked. They just thought the stick was magic, and if you stir honey and water in this magic stick, you get alcohol. So I'm gonna do kind of the same thing. So everything in nature has yeast on it, and I found this nice stick, but I'm gonna give it a little extra help. I noticed the cacti are blooming here, so I'm just gonna rub that along any flowers, any place I might have pollen. This is a little bit late, I think, but still yeast on it. Rub in some flowers for some extra measure. Give it a good shake, and hopefully we have some hungry yeasty boys in there. So I'm going to set this in the camper where it's relatively consistent climate in the dark somewhere. And I'm going to keep the lid tight initially, and then check it every once in a while to see if it has any pressure. Once it has pressure, I'll kind of leave the lid unscrewed a little bit for a few days, and then close it back up and see where we're at. This was a fantastic idea. Thirsty bees. Bees need water in the desert. Good thing it's supposed to rain tomorrow. It should fix this problem. Maybe while they're here, they can help me ferment my mead. So I heard vinegar is a natural deterrent or repellent, or maybe even kills bees, but I think I just pissed them off. My goal isn't really to kill the bees, I just don't want them around our stuff like this. Alright, so I need to do an oil change on my generator, so I'll take you with me. Ran it for a few minutes. Drainage hose, a receptacle. So that's all the oil that's in here. And go figure, I got the only filter, the only funnel, the word I was looking for was funnel, that they had at the gas station, and it's not going to work, so I have to figure out how I'm going to get the oil in there. Yeah, this should be fun. Okay, I'm gonna have to modify my plate a little. Oh yeah, that should be better. Looks good. Now they say an oil change on these are good for anywhere from 50 to 200 hours, which I believe I was in somewhere in that range with this fill, but I should be good for a while yet. Now she's good to go. So the other day when I was reheating my Taco Bell quesadilla, I got to thinking, I wonder if I could just make a quesadilla in the toaster. And I was pleasantly surprised with what I found out. So you take these, they're medium size tortillas. Just gonna put some nacho cheese on there. Shredded cheese. A little bit of hot sauce. And some sriracha seasoning. And then the trick to this is you fold it in half and then fold that in half. So then you get this cone. So when it's in the toaster, your cheese isn't going to fall out the bottom. And then you just put it in the toaster. And this is going to be a life hack for the rest of my life. While that one's cooking, I'll get the next one ready. Check the toastiness on it. I need a little more. Hot. As you can see, nice and crispy. Cheese is melted. We'll let this cool down for a minute while the other one toasts. Alright, well now we have 2 done quesadillas done in a toaster. So let's see how they are. That's really good. That is an awesome, convenient way to make a quesadilla. Super good life hack. Well, that's all for this one, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.